Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Thursday, August 10th, 2023. This is my daily vlog. Each morning I get up and turn on the lights and stand here in the studio to talk about what's happening in my attempt to make content creation full time. It used to be a hobby. I'd like it to be more, and that's what we're working on. So let's get started. Good results to report to you today. So start with yesterday. So yesterday I did my writing and prep work for the last of these Atari videos, which I'm going to knock out today. We'll talk about in a moment. I did completed the publishing for our podcast. We edited it on Tuesday, all the notes and stuff for that. So that's out today. Brand new episode is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Then I worked on a thumbnail for my exclusive sneak peek video that's going to come next week, which I think I'm pretty happy with. Just need something that's a grabber. Had a little brief back and forth with the company I'm working with about planning for that. And then in the afternoon was the launch of the tier video that I've been working on for a little bit. So that video has done very well. I'll say it's nearly. YouTube gives you this report of how a video is doing over time. On the same timeline compared to the last 10. Not only is it number one, but it's number one by almost double. So yes, it's an Atari tier video, but yes, also it has the little bit of the curiosity because the thumbnail says adults only, right? So it's about these mature games that came out in the early 80s. So I knew it would have some clickability. I wasn't sure how well or whether or not it would backfire on me and people would go, oh, it's too crass. Well, you be the judge when you watch. It's getting good responses. People are enjoying the levity with which I presented these games, and you can. I'll put a link in the corner, of course, where I talk about it. But the important thing is that video, overnight, since I dropped it yesterday afternoon, has already done over 7,400 views, which is phenomenal. It's well above the average curve that you can see here. Financial reports don't come in. They're always staggered by a day, so there's not much to see there, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of revenue this generates. And more importantly, if this video continues to push, or does it just flash in the pan and it becomes just evergreen content that gets a few hundred views per month or so, or does it continue to be a performer, which we have videos that do that too. On the heels of that video doing well, we also crossed another subscriber milestone. So I think yesterday, let's see, we were at, I'm trying to remember where we were, but at any rate, I think we were about to hit 34.3 maybe. But anyway, we're now at 34,350 something, so we're halfway to the next milestone. The subscribers were up right along with views. It's natural. If you get some views, you're going to get subscribers. If people, the thing that is not always guaranteed with YouTube, but I think is working because the content that we're putting out is of decent quality, is views don't automatically equal subscribers and then feed into new views. But when people do discover us, they tend to subscribe and stick around. It's not everybody, obviously, we're not everyone's cup of tea, but it's that thing that if you can get exposure, it's clicking with a large enough volume of people. So every new video that does views, especially that reaches a new audience, is going to create new subscribers for you, and that's exactly what this did. So again, so if that's 34.3 now? Yeah, 34.3 and a half. So I would expect to hit 34.4 by the end of this afternoon. You can see how it's going. We're getting just under 100 a day, sometimes between 50 and 80, something like that, right in there. Yesterday was a nice spike. It was right up near the top, almost 100 for the day. So stat-wise, happy with yesterday. We'll see how this video in particular continues to perform as we layer new things on top of it for the rest of the month, the stuff that's coming. Okay, let's talk about today. Well, first and foremost, it's Strange New Thursday. It's the finale of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And due to the writers and actors strike, it's going to be probably 2 years before we see more. I'm fearful that this one might be a cliffhanger, which would make sense at this point in the story, but That means we're going to be hanging on a cliff for a long time. My fingers are going to get sore from hanging there. But the series is some of the best that's ever been, science fiction has ever been put out. So I look forward to it every day. That's why I call it out here, because it's a big part of my Thursdays. More importantly, what are we doing with GenXGrownUp? I will shoot this next video, these guys up here, and I'll evaluate what I can do in terms of a follow-up. I'm not going to knock that out yet, but I'll get that ready to publish for tomorrow, I think. So I get another one out for the weekend. So we'll have 2 new videos basically cruising into the weekend, including this big one that's still performing well. Also, I want to do some advanced editing on the next podcast. So the next Rewind is a musical backtrack where we'll edit on Tuesday, but whenever you have musical backtracks that have musical elements and special commercial breaks and things like that and audio archive stuff, it takes a lot more time to put together. So if I can get it started between now and Tuesday, meaning I'll probably piddle around with it over the weekend a little bit too. I'll get it laid out on a timeline so I can start having it open to work on. I would like, once we start the edit on Tuesday, to be fully like a third through the edit, maybe even finish with the first segment or so. That would be good. So it's what I hope to get done. It started today as well. So I think that is pretty well what I have in line for today. And before I leave, we can just we can talk very briefly about I had some apprehension and excitement at the same time about dropping this tier video because it's just a little outside of brand. I try to keep everything GenXGrownUp super family friendly as best as, profanity happens, but subject matter and things like that. So this was something that was a little sensitive. Some people have some very steadfast opinions about the content for these games, which was sexually explicit. Now, explicit for 1982 pixelated graphics on an Atari. So how bad could it be? Well, some of them were pretty racy. In fact, I did blur a little bit just to be sensitive. But the other thing that I tried to do that has worked very well is I really wrote this video to take the sting out of the things that might be shocking. So I spent some time, more time than I usually would, writing some humor, writing some puns, writing the stuff that people are finding that I didn't call attention to when I said it. Little things in there, like I call out the cartridges were double enders. And I mentioned that, and people are catching little double entendre stuff like that I intentionally sprinkled throughout the script. They're probably reading more than I intended once they saw I started doing that. But certainly there was, there's a scene that appears to be a couple of people lying down, and I comment that they must be doing tandem push-ups or something. That sort of humor I tried to lace into it. So I used my writing chops a little bit and my snarky sense of humor a little bit to try to lace that in there. And I was concerned that it might hit on people that go, I can't believe you did this, from like a shock standpoint. But that hasn't happened. Interestingly, I think several people have commented well, I posted a video about that game and YouTube removed it. I guess that's still possible, but that's why I uploaded it early. Remember, I left it uploaded for a day or so to let YouTube's robots grind on it and see if there was anything they found offensive. I reported it accurately. You have a bunch of tick boxes. What's contained in this video? What sort of content to evaluate whether it's appropriate for certain advertisers, which I did all that accurately. But I think, too, the thing that's different about this video that I think it's going to be fine just for longevity is that it is not done. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a shock value, right? It's not done to titillate. It's not done to try to be offensive. It's literally done the other way around, and it's a historical piece, and it's commentary, and it's evaluation and review. For all those reasons, I think I've not had a single comment yet, actually, knock on wood, of anyone going, oh, I'm shocked that you did this. Quite the opposite, actually. I think most people have commented saying, wow, you really handled this really well and made it comfortable and funny, and it wasn't icky or anything. So I'm really happy with the approach I did there, and it's kind of something I haven't needed to do, really. You don't have to soften the blow when you talk about Pac-Man, because it's Pac-Man. It's fine for everybody, but I kind of wanted to soften the blow to make sure that it didn't come across as crass or exploitive, but rather came across as tongue-in-cheek and observational. So I think I pulled that off. You watch the video and tell me what you think. I don't know when I'll have an opportunity or need to do that kind of thing again, but this one seemed to work out, and I'm really happy with the results, and I'm happy with the response. So people seem to see what I did, appreciate what I did. That's very gratifying. That's why I want to do this in the first place, is to create stuff that people watch and enjoy. Like, full stop. That's the reason. You know, making revenue and stuff, that's just the thing I need to be able to keep doing the other thing. You know, really, that's it. That's it. Hey, I'm gonna get busy today. I have stuff to do, as you know, including check out that finale of Star Trek. If you just stopped by today to check out the vlog, thank you so much for doing that. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you so much for being part of my support system and being here for me and supportive and everything that you do. Have a fantastic Thursday. Please do something good for yourself if you can, and I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.